Hey, what's going on, guys? I know it has been a very long time since I've done one of these, and I wanted to come here because I have a lot of things to kind of share with you. One of them being, what's going on? Where have I been? What have I been doing? Tons and tons and tons. Let me put up my comments here. Just a lot of stuff going on. Nothing bad, all good. Just trying to do some time management, and it's just been kind of crazy because there is no time. So, remember when your parents would say, "There's just not enough time, and enough many hours in a day." Well, I found myself years ago starting to say that, and now I believe it. I know it's crazy, absolutely crazy. Um, All right, so where to begin? So this past weekend, I did a 1 day show, and it was the Milwaukee Comic Con, and it was just like I said, 1 day, just Saturday. That was it. It was fun. It was fun. They were in a much bigger location. It really did need to expand, so I'm glad that they did. But the coolest part was that I was asked to be interviewed by Fox Channel 6 News, locally here in Wisconsin. So that was really cool. So I was actually on the news. It was pretty fun. The I can't remember the young lady's name, but she was really sweet. She was really nice. Off camera, we were kind of geeking out about certain things. So it just kind of made the experience for me, and I think also for her, just really kind of made it more enjoyable because we both like the same kind of stuff. We're geeks. So it was just a lot of fun, and hopefully soon I'll have a video of that, and I'm going to post it definitely on my YouTube. I'm going to post it on Facebook and anywhere else I possibly can, so you guys can also see it too. And if anybody took pictures, which I think there are a few pictures here and there, I'm going to see if I can track those down and get those and post those as well. So that was this past weekend. But here's with this past weekend. So every single convention now, I look for something kind of. Actually, I don't even look for it, but I do kind of look for something a little different than I did before. So a lot of you know that I've done the convention scene for um, honestly since 2007. So we're talking next year is 15 years. I've been going to conventions, setting up as a professional, behind the table, all that stuff. I mean that's a very long time in my eyes. That's a long time. And before, I was, what's the next print I'm going to do? How is this going to sell out? How is this going to be? Is this, I was all about that. Like, what is the next hottest thing? And and it was great. I mean, and sometimes I would actually hit it, right on the head. Like, oh, I got this awesome Spider-Man pose. Boom, sell out. I've got this Darkhawk picture. Boom, sell out. Okay, I never sold out of Darkhawk, but I just had to throw that in there. But there are certain characters that I would just kind of come up with and work on with one of the illustrators, and we would sell prints together. And sometimes it would work, and it would just work out, really to our benefit. Now I look at things a whole lot different. I don't look at, well, is this one going to sell or is that one going to sell? I mean, of course, I think about that and of course I look at it, but I'm more into, is this going to connect with somebody? Is someone going to like this because of A, B, and C? Whatever it might be. That's kind of what I look for. And so every time I do a show now, I've actually had somebody this year anyway. I've had somebody walk up to me and say, "Well, I have a connection with this character because of so and so. This character spoke to me. I should have bought it 2, 3 years ago." This is a true story. I had a lady actually come up to me, not at this past show, but the show before this in Madison, and she was like, "Oh my God, I can't believe I found you." And I don't remember if I said this to you guys or not. If I did, I do apologize. But I was super excited because she came up to me. She goes, "Holy cow, it's you! You're here!" And I'm like, "Yeah, who are you?" And I had no idea who she was, um, because when you go to conventions, you see a lot of people. Some hundreds, thousands. It just depends on what show you're at. So, but she came up to me, she remembered me, and I was extremely excited about that. So, but she comes up and says, "Well, there's this picture that you have," and she starts explaining what it is. She goes, it has a witch in it. It's got the cool background. It's got this, and it's got all these other characters in it. And I'm like, really? And I'm thinking, I'm like, maybe she has the wrong person, because I've only had two pictures that had witches in it. One is a single character, and the other one is, Natasha's witches, which you probably have seen before, with me posting them, which is just Natasha, what my little diva, I call in the studio. She's dressed up with two of her friends from the characters from Hocus Pocus. You may have seen that. And that was it. And I'm explaining to her Natasha's witches, and then I show her. She goes, "No, that's not the one." And the only one I can think of, I'm like, "Well, let me show you this one." Just boop, just off the top of my head, I'm like, "Well, check this one out." So I pull it out. Don't have it here with me right here, but I pull it out and I show her, and she goes, "That's it. That's the one." And it's actually my Candy Witch. Now, what made this picture a little bit different, and what spoke to her a lot, because she told me about this twice now, but she told me about it, was that the background is all watercolored, and it is. It's all original watercolor. The character itself is digitally colored, hand drawn, but digitally colored. And then I put a shadow behind it, so it kind of looks like it's sticking out just a little bit from the piece. And she says, this just really spoke to me. It spoke to me for years, and I was hoping and hoping that I'd see you again at a show, that you're going to come back. And she did. She bought it. She was really excited. And then I saw her again actually this past weekend, and she was super stoked. And there were a couple other characters that she remembered. She goes, "Do you have these guys?" And I did. So it was so cool. See, that's the kind of stuff I like. Now, that's what I like. What is connecting? Like, what characters do I have that are connecting to you or to the fans? That to me speaks more volume than any dollar amount. And I know that sounds, cliche, like, oh, you're just saying that. No, 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 really. That really does speak more to me. If I didn't care about my characters, I didn't care about the studio, believe me, I wouldn't be doing it. I can go and I can make a Spider-Man piece, or I can make a Batman piece, and I can make some money on it. But that's not what brings me happiness either. I actually care about the stuff that I work on, that I create, that I want to give and show you guys. I care about the stories. And going into that, speaking of, that's something I'm really, really starting to, well, not starting to, but that's something I'm really jumping into right now, big time, is the stories behind the characters, their origins, creating this universe, if you will, just creating my own little world, my characters in it of Stanley and Friends. You can kind of see them, right down over here. That's little Stanley Squirrel, my first character I ever created in the studio. And just the stories behind them is really what I'm interested in now, and really just getting them out there. So that's what I'm really focused on. Definitely starting next year. I really haven't focused a lot on that. I've just been so scatterbrained, like we all have been. I've just been so scatterbrained with things, and sometimes, it just gets away from you. What you're really focused on, what you really need to do. But going back to conventions, so next year I am planning on going back on the road. Now, I'm not going to be doing the 40 shows a year like I did before. As much as I would probably like to do it, I would be so in the red uh, financially that I would have to just take out loans to pay off loans, that kind of a thing. And I don't want to do that. So I have to be kind of careful, and I'm going to be kind of careful where I go, because anywhere I go now, unfortunately, I cannot stay in Artist Alley. I have to have at least an 8 foot by 8 foot space, which comes out to a booth. And that's perfectly fine, because I have a whole different setup coming next year. At least I'm hoping, if I can get it all worked out well. I'm gonna have an all new setup. I will be hitting, some of my favorite states that I like to go to, like Florida and California and New York, and of course Chicago. I'm going to be hitting some of my favorite states that I go to all the time, because that's just my regular stomping grounds. I miss those shows. I miss the fans. I miss you guys out there. So I hope to see you guys again next year at some of these shows. I'll be posting in the near future, as soon as I get everything signed, sealed, and delivered. I will be posting it on jeffbalkestudios.com, which is also being updated over the course of the next couple of weeks as well. Um, but there's just so much going on. You know, we are working on our second comic book right now with Stanley and Friends. Don't know what it's called yet, but it'll be coming out next September, October. So it's another Halloween kind of book. So be on the lookout for that. I am also looking for a cartoonist that I need for my weekly comic strip series. I'd like to do a weekly online series of. Why does it get blurry? Guys, sorry, my hand's right there. I'm just trying to figure out why this is getting so blurry all the time. I don't know. Oh, kind of crazy. So sorry that it's blurry. I do apologize. Yeah, that didn't help. Oh, that kind of helped a little bit. Okay. Unfortunately, you who just commented, I don't understand Spanish, so I do apologize. So I'm sorry. Sorry. I think you're yeah. So, anyways, I'll see if I can get that translated though. So, anyways, yeah, there's a whole lot of stuff that that I'm working on. Some of you may or may not have heard that we also have our own coffee. Brandon and I have started our own coffee. We're roasting our own, air roasting it, and I'm very, very excited about it. It's really cool. We have a light, medium, and dark roast, you know, which are your main three roasts that everybody has. And of course, now that the holiday season is here, we're throwing in a couple of flavors. Peppermint definitely is one of them. That right now is probably my favorite one because when I drink it, honestly, it just makes me feel like a kid. It kind of brings me back to my childhood of like playing in the snow. I know that sounds kind of weird too, but in all honesty, it really brings me back to being a kid, and it's just I love it. You know, it makes me feel so good. So, anyways, we have the coffee going on, which is going to be coming to some of the shows with us. We're not going to be brewing it right there. We're going to be selling the whole bean. So you guys can definitely take a whiff of it. You can buy it. They come in 1 pound bags. It's I guarantee you that you're gonna like it. You know, I've made like 2 coffee drinkers who are not coffee drinkers before, maybe once every 2-3 years that have a cup of coffee. And I know these guys personally, so I know it's true. They actually started drinking some of the at least our dark roast coffee. They just like the boldness, and it's just really, really nice. So that's nice. So that was kind of cool. Yeah, like I said, so much going on. I'm trying to just figure out all my time management and everything like that. So that's why I haven't been doing a lot of videos. And I'm really trying to come back and do Coloring with Jeff live again. I really want to start doing that again. Hopefully next year. I'd like to do it over the holiday season, but I think next year is probably going to be a little bit more realistic for me to go back with Coloring with Jeff. So yeah, I'm sorry if you guys are waiting for that. I do apologize, but I promise you it's going to come back. I just have to, again, figure out how to do the camera situation when I do it by myself, because most of the time I'm alone when I do this. So it's 99.99% of the time I'm alone when I do these, like right now. So basically I have one camera, and then anyway. So yes, be on the lookout. I'm going to be posting some more shows coming up, not this year, but for next year. And then if you guys are interested in any of the coffee, I'm going to go ahead right here and I'm going to put it in the comments. Go to this website. CoffeePalletOnline.com. Now, palette is spelled like that on purpose. P-A-L-E-T-T-E. And the reason it's spelled like that is because something Brandon and I wanted to do was like intermix, coffee and art. That doesn't necessarily mean we're doing coffee art, like physically in the coffee cups. We're not, because again, we're just roasting the coffee right now. We're not physically brewing it, giving you the actual cup so you can drink right there on the spot. Can't do that yet. Hopefully coming soon within the next, little while, we will be able to, but that's going to be down the road just a smidge. but just mixing kind of art and coffee, putting them together, two things that I love very much, and just bringing you guys some really great coffee with fun looking bags. So, but our logo is actually a coffee bean, and it's a little palette, like an artist palette. So we have like red, orange, yellow, green, blue, all that all around it. So that's why we call it the coffee palette. So that's the other business that we have. Brandon and I can actually work on together. So yeah, so go and check that out. Right now, you can order the peppermint, and you can order our medium, light, medium, and dark roast coffees. They're right now available, so you can go buy those online. And if you're looking for anything with our Holly Jolly collection, which I released actually on November 1st, our Holly Jolly collection for the studio is like all the winterized, the snowman, the Santa Claus, Stanley Claus, all those characters. This little bug just won't go away. I had that problem before too. They still don't go away. You can just go to bulkystudiosart.com, which I'm going to leave also right here too. Bulkystudiosart.com is all the different pieces of art that we have as of right now. There's a lot of pieces discontinued that I did not put up there. I'm trying to figure out how to do that. Maybe just have that when I go to conventions and shows and signings and stuff, just to hopefully maybe kind of get rid of those maybe a little bit more in bulk. Also coming up within the next couple of weeks, definitely by December 1st, I'm going to have the Holly Jolly collection in merchandise. So t-shirts, cell phone cases, hats, if I can pull that one off, no pun intended, hats and all that kind of stuff. That I'm going to have actually by December 1st. I'm going to start working on it this week. So hopefully within the next week would be great if I can get it all done, which is a possibility. But a few other things kind of going on kind of in the pipeline too, so I don't want to spread myself too thin, but that's why I'm saying by December 1st all the Holly Jolly stuff will be up for the merchandise, but definitely start looking for it this week, and I'll give you that website as well. And that one is shopbulkystudios.com. I know, tons of websites. I wish I could have everything in one location. Maybe down the road I can. Just right now, because I don't sell a lot on the websites. With all these different sites, we don't sell a whole lot, believe it or not. If hopefully things will pick up. I know it's been kind of a rough year and a half for everybody, going on 2 years soon. It's been kind of rough. The economy has been kind of strange, and people losing jobs, getting jobs that are a little bit less than what they made before, but then now the job, it's just all over the place. So I know things are kind of tight for everybody, including myself. So hopefully things do pick up, because otherwise I will probably have to close at least bulkystudiosart.com next year, because I have to pay for that site. Hopefully things will pick up for me and I can actually keep that store going, because not everybody can get to the conventions. Not everyone's going to conventions yet. So that's the best way. If you want any kind of art, if you want any kind of deals, pins, all that kind of stuff, you can go there and you can buy it. So hopefully it'll pick up, hint, hint, a little bit. So anyways, guys, that's kind of all that's going on. Like I said, that's a whole lot of information I just threw at you. There's still more that I want to throw at you guys. But we're going to leave it right there for now. But like I said, there's a lot of cool things coming up. Again, please be on the lookout, jeffbulkystudios.com, because that's where I'm going to be posting my conventions I'm doing next year. Again, I just got to get them signed, sealed, delivered, make sure everything is good, make sure that everything is approved for me to go to these shows, and then I will definitely post them on the website. And of course, I'll be posting them on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram and all that kind of fun stuff too. So, but yeah. And I don't know what's going on with Facebook. I've had some issues here and there with Facebook ever since they announced that they're doing this Meta thing, changing the name and whatnot. So if for some reason you don't see me for a little while on Facebook, it's not because I'm ignoring it. It's because for some stupid reason my my studio page is kind of wonky. They're doing something with pages, I think, and I just want to let you guys know that now. I have my personal page up there, of course, but that's why I say, you know, definitely check jeffbalkestudios.com, because I'm going to have all the information listed there, but I will be sharing it on Facebook and Instagram. But I'm just kind of forewarning you that if Facebook is wonky, it's not me. They're doing stuff to the Facebook pages right now, which I don't know what that is. So yeah, just checking comments here. Okay. So anyways, guys, that's about all I have. What I'm going to do coming up shortly, probably the next video that I do, I'm going to show you guys some of the original hand colorings from the Holly Jolly collection. Oh, these things are cute. I mean, they really are. I mean, I'm being kind of biased, but they are really cute. You know, like Baby Fang, you know, shoving his face with all the Christmas candy and having candy canes out. Natasha dressed up as Mrs. Claus. Stanley, you know, kind of winterized, got a hat on and a scarf. You know, that kind of stuff. And our hipster Stanley Claus. So a lot of cute stuff. But I think the next video I'm gonna show you guys, I want to kind of show those off to you. You know, pictures do one thing, you know, when you look at them on a website, but I think if you physically, well, kind of physically see them, it just kind of makes them a little more realistic. You just make more real, you know. So I think that's what I'm going to do the next time, and I'm going to share with you guys some more information coming up for next year that I'm already currently working on. But man, it's a lot of stuff. It's a lot of stuff. So anyways, guys, thank you again very much. I really appreciate all your comments, sharing, caring, and just everything. Keep it up. You know, let's try to get some more. Every time I hit a certain number on the Facebook page, I lose. If I gain 1 or 2 people, I lose about 10 to 15. And so I can't get past a certain point, and I've actually dropped and I've lost a lot of people, but a lot of people are dropping too, just because they're not friends with Facebook anymore, for many reasons. So anyway, again, thank you guys very much. I really do appreciate it. Please go and check out those sites, coffeepaletonline.com for our own coffee. It's right here in the comments. Also, don't forget to check out balkestudiosart.com. That's where I have some of my artwork, and of course, our new little acrylic pins, which are absolutely adorable. Love these little things. And then also, shopbalkestudios.com is going to be holly jollied out by December 1st. Most likely, it'll probably be holly jollied out by next week. Really, to be honest with you. So, I want to try to get it done before Thanksgiving, but just in case I don't. You never know. So thank you again, guys, very much. I appreciate it. And go and check out those websites. Buy what you can. You know, support the local artists and all that I always say. So again, thank you guys very much. I really appreciate it. And I look forward to seeing you guys, hopefully, at a convention near you sometime next year. All right. Take care, guys.